Do you really know the hidden flaws of your zodiac sign? Not the polished version. Not the version people post in aesthetic quotes, where Aries is fearless, Taurus is loyal, Gemini is curious, Cancer is caring, and Leo is confident. I'm talking about the side that appears when you're stressed, rejected, misunderstood, or pushed too far. Every zodiac sign has a strength that can become a weakness when it goes unchecked. Confidence can turn into arrogance. Loyalty can turn into possessiveness. Sensitivity can turn into emotional manipulation. Independence can become emotional distance. And the uncomfortable truth is this: sometimes, the trait we are most proud of is the same trait that creates the most problems in our relationships, decisions, and personal growth. So today, we're not here to judge any sign. We're here to look honestly at the shadows each zodiac sign carries. Astrology often celebrates the beautiful parts of each zodiac sign. We talk about charm, passion, loyalty, creativity, ambition, intuition, and intelligence. And those traits are real. But every personality pattern has another side. The same fire that makes someone passionate can also make them explosive. The same earth energy that makes someone stable can also make them resistant to change. The same air energy that makes someone mentally sharp can also make them detached. The same water energy that makes someone emotionally deep can also make them overwhelmed by feelings. That is why understanding the dark side of the zodiac is not about negativity. It is about honesty. It is about recognizing the patterns we repeat when we feel unsafe. Because your dark side is not your identity. It is usually your defense mechanism. It is the part of you that appears when your ego, heart, or sense of control feels threatened. The hardest part of self-awareness is not discovering your strengths. Most people already know what they are good at, or at least what they want others to believe they are good at. The harder part is admitting where you can be difficult. Where you overreact. Where you shut down. Where you control, avoid, criticize, obsess, or pretend not to care. That is where real growth begins. Because if you never face your shadow, it controls you from behind the scenes. You start blaming everyone else for patterns you keep creating. You attract the same conflicts, repeat the same emotional cycles, and wonder why people misunderstand you. But once you recognize your dark side, you gain power over it. You stop acting automatically. You pause. You question yourself. You ask, is this really who I want to be, or is this just my wound speaking? That question alone can change everything. Aries is bold, direct, and fearless. But the dark side of Aries often shows up as impulsiveness, impatience, and a need to win even when there is no real battle. Aries energy wants action immediately. It does not like waiting, explaining, or feeling blocked. That can make Aries inspiring, but it can also make them explosive. When frustrated, Aries may speak before thinking, make decisions too quickly, or turn small disagreements into competitions. Their confidence can become aggression when they feel challenged. Their honesty can become harshness when they forget that truth still needs timing and compassion. The growth lesson for Aries is learning that strength is not always speed. Sometimes power means slowing down. Sometimes courage means listening instead of reacting. Aries does not need to lose its fire. It simply needs to learn how to control the flame. Taurus is grounded, loyal, and dependable. But the dark side of Taurus often appears as stubbornness, possessiveness, and fear of change. Taurus loves stability, and there is nothing wrong with that. But when stability becomes attachment, Taurus can hold on too tightly, to people, routines, opinions, comfort zones, and even pain. They may resist change not because the change is bad, but because uncertainty feels threatening. In relationships, Taurus can become possessive when they fear losing emotional security. In conflict, they may refuse to admit they are wrong simply because changing their mind feels like losing control. The growth lesson for Taurus is learning that security is not the same as stillness. Life cannot always remain predictable. Sometimes the very thing Taurus is protecting becomes the thing keeping them stuck. Real peace comes when Taurus learns to trust change without feeling destroyed by it. Gemini is curious, witty, adaptable, and mentally alive. But the dark side of Gemini often shows up as inconsistency, emotional avoidance, and scattered energy. Gemini can understand many perspectives, but sometimes they use that flexibility to avoid choosing one. They may talk around their feelings instead of sitting with them. They may intellectualize pain, joke during serious moments, or move on quickly before processing what actually happened. To others, this can feel confusing. One moment Gemini seems deeply interested, and the next they seem distant or distracted. Their gift with words can become manipulation if they use communication to escape accountability. The growth lesson for Gemini is learning that not every emotion needs to be analyzed from a distance. Some feelings need to be felt directly. Gemini becomes powerful when their mind and heart finally work together instead of running in opposite directions. Cancer is nurturing, intuitive, and emotionally rich. But the dark side of Cancer often appears as moodiness, defensiveness, and emotional manipulation. Because Cancer feels deeply, they can also hurt deeply. When they feel rejected or unappreciated, they may retreat into silence, guilt others indirectly, or expect people to understand their pain without clearly explaining it. Their sensitivity is beautiful, but when unchecked, it can make them take things personally that were never meant to wound them. Cancer may also hold on to the past, replaying old hurts long after everyone else has moved on. Their protective shell can become a prison if they use it to avoid vulnerability. The growth lesson for Cancer is learning that emotional honesty is healthier than emotional testing. Love becomes easier when Cancer communicates needs directly instead of hoping others will guess them perfectly. Leo is charismatic, generous, creative, and magnetic. But the dark side of Leo often shows up as pride, attention-seeking, and difficulty accepting criticism. Leo wants to feel valued, seen, and appreciated. That desire is human. But when Leo depends too much on external validation, they may become dramatic, defensive, or overly concerned with how they are perceived. Their confidence can become arrogance when they are afraid of looking weak. Their generosity can become performative if they secretly expect admiration in return. And when they feel ignored, they may overcompensate by becoming louder, colder, or more controlling. The growth lesson for Leo is learning that real self-worth does not need constant applause. The brightest Leo is not the one who dominates the room. It is the one who shines without needing everyone else to disappear. Virgo is analytical, helpful, disciplined, and detail-oriented. But the dark side of Virgo often appears as criticism, anxiety, and perfectionism. Virgo notices what others miss, which can be a powerful gift. But when this gift becomes excessive, Virgo may focus more on what is wrong than what is working. They may criticize themselves constantly, then unintentionally project that pressure onto others. Their desire to improve things can make people feel judged instead of supported. Virgo may also struggle to rest, because their mind keeps scanning for problems to solve. The growth lesson for Virgo is learning that not everything needs fixing. Sometimes people need compassion more than correction. Sometimes progress matters more than perfection. Virgo becomes healthier when they realize their worth is not measured by productivity, usefulness, or having everything under control. Libra is charming, diplomatic, graceful, and relationship-oriented. But the dark side of Libra often shows up as people-pleasing, indecision, and avoidance of conflict. Libra wants harmony, but sometimes they want it so badly that they hide their true feelings just to keep the peace. They may say yes when they mean no. They may avoid difficult conversations until resentment quietly builds. They may adapt to others so much that they lose touch with what they actually want. Libra's desire to be liked can also make them overly concerned with appearances. The growth lesson for Libra is learning that real harmony cannot be built on hidden resentment. Peace without honesty is fragile. Libra becomes stronger when they stop fearing disagreement and start trusting that healthy relationships can survive the truth. Scorpio is intense, loyal, perceptive, and emotionally powerful. But the dark side of Scorpio often appears as jealousy, secrecy, suspicion, and control. Scorpio sees beneath the surface, which makes them deeply intuitive. But when wounded, that same perception can turn into paranoia. They may test people, hide their own vulnerability, or assume betrayal before it happens. Scorpio's emotional depth can make love feel profound, but it can also make fear feel consuming. When they feel unsafe, they may try to control the situation rather than admit how deeply they care. Their silence can become a weapon if they use distance to punish others. The growth lesson for Scorpio is learning that trust cannot grow where everything is treated like a threat. Scorpio becomes truly powerful when they allow vulnerability to exist without turning it into a battlefield. Sagittarius is adventurous, honest, optimistic, and independent. But the dark side of Sagittarius often shows up as restlessness, bluntness, and fear of commitment. Sagittarius loves freedom, and they often resist anything that feels limiting. But sometimes they mistake emotional responsibility for restriction. They may leave situations too quickly, avoid serious conversations, or use humor and philosophy to escape discomfort. Their honesty can be refreshing, but it can also become careless when they forget that truth without empathy can wound. Sagittarius may chase new experiences while avoiding the deeper work of staying, repairing, and building. The growth lesson for Sagittarius is learning that commitment does not have to mean losing freedom. Sometimes the greatest adventure is not running towards something new. Sometimes it is staying long enough to grow. Capricorn is responsible, disciplined, ambitious, and strong. But the dark side of Capricorn often appears as emotional coldness, control, and excessive seriousness. Capricorn wants to succeed, build, and prove themselves. But when they become too focused on achievement, they may neglect emotional connection. They may treat vulnerability like weakness or view rest as laziness. Capricorn can become overly guarded because they fear failure, dependence, or being seen as incapable. Their standards can be inspiring, but they can also become rigid and unforgiving. In relationships, they may show love through responsibility while forgetting that people also need warmth. The growth lesson for Capricorn is learning that success without emotional presence can feel empty. Real strength is not just endurance. It is also softness, honesty, and the courage to be human without constantly performing competence. Aquarius is original, intellectual, independent, and visionary. But the dark side of Aquarius often shows up as emotional detachment, stubborn idealism, and difficulty with intimacy. Aquarius values individuality and freedom of thought. But when taken too far, they may distance themselves from emotions that feel messy or irrational. They may analyze feelings instead of expressing them. They may care deeply about humanity in general while struggling to be emotionally present with one person in front of them. Aquarius can also become fixed in their beliefs, even while seeing themselves as open-minded. The growth lesson for Aquarius is learning that emotional connection does not weaken individuality. Being close to someone does not mean losing yourself. Aquarius becomes more complete when they allow their heart to be as active as their mind. Pisces is compassionate, imaginative, spiritual, and deeply empathetic. But the dark side of Pisces often appears as escapism, victim mentality, and unclear boundaries. Pisces feels the world intensely, which can make reality overwhelming. When life becomes too heavy, they may retreat into fantasy, avoidance, or emotional confusion. They may absorb other people's pain until they lose track of their own needs. Their compassion can become self-sacrifice if they keep saving people who do not want to change. Pisces may also struggle with accountability when they feel misunderstood, slipping into helplessness instead of taking action. The growth lesson for Pisces is learning that sensitivity needs structure. Dreams are powerful, but they need boundaries to survive in the real world. Pisces becomes strongest when they combine compassion with clarity. Here is the key moment: your zodiac sign's dark side is not a life sentence. It is not proof that you are broken, toxic, or doomed to repeat the same patterns forever. It is simply a mirror. And a mirror does not exist to shame you. It exists to show you what needs attention. Aries can learn patience. Taurus can learn flexibility. Gemini can learn emotional depth. Cancer can learn direct communication. Leo can learn inner validation. Virgo can learn self-acceptance. Libra can learn honest boundaries. Scorpio can learn trust. Sagittarius can learn commitment. Capricorn can learn vulnerability. Aquarius can learn emotional presence. Pisces can learn grounded action. The shadow becomes dangerous only when you deny it. But when you face it, it becomes a teacher. It shows you where your next level of growth begins. Recognizing these traits can completely change how you relate to yourself and others. Instead of saying, "That is just how I am," you begin asking, "Is this helping me become who I want to be?" Instead of blaming your sign, you start taking responsibility for your patterns. And in relationships, this awareness matters even more. Many conflicts happen because two people are acting from their shadows at the same time. One person withdraws, the other becomes controlling. One person avoids conflict, the other explodes. One person seeks validation, the other becomes emotionally distant. But when you understand the shadow behind the behavior, you stop reacting only to the surface. You begin seeing the fear underneath. That does not excuse harmful behavior, but it helps you respond with more wisdom. Awareness creates choice, and choice creates growth. Every zodiac sign has beauty, strength, and potential. But every sign also has challenges. And that is okay. Being human means carrying both light and shadow. The goal is not to become perfect. The goal is to become honest enough to grow. So the next time your sign's dark side appears, do not instantly deny it. Pause. Look at it. Ask what it is trying to protect. Then choose a better response. Because astrology is most powerful when it helps you understand yourself, not excuse yourself. Now I want to hear from you. What is the dark side of your zodiac sign that you relate to the most? Be honest in the comments, because someone else may need to hear that they are not alone. And if you want more deep astrology videos about personality, relationships, and self-growth, subscribe to the channel. In the next video, we may explore how each zodiac sign can balance these shadow traits and turn them into real strength.